attempt to fix my S92 rear view camera for the Cybertruck. They sent me a replacement wiring harness, so what I'm going to try to do is swap this out. Yeah, basically I get this audio system unavailable, horn and or chimes may not function, schedule service if audio system does not recover. So ever since I installed this S92 rear view camera on my 2025 Cybertruck, I've had this fault on my screen, and the biggest problem is that if I play my radio too loud, the screen will just shut down. So let me do that right now so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll probably mute out this audio because of copyright stuff, but keep an eye on that screen right here. Right, so now I'm playing some loud music right now, with a lot of bass, to show you what exactly happens when I play my music too loud. Okay, there. The rear view camera feed shuts down and will reboot. And so now here you go. This is now it's rebooting and turning back on. All right, so that's what happens when I play my music too loud. It will the rear view mirror will just shut down. It'll reboot itself, and then you see that Cybertruck welcome screen on it again. So hopefully this is gonna fix it. They sent me a new wiring harness. Hopefully it's wired differently, so it's not, I think that's what everybody was saying, was it's pulling power from the radio, which is why you see this right here, an audio system fault. And then if you increase the volume too high on your radio, then I guess what they were saying was it's pulling too much of the power away from the video camera, and then the video camera goes blank and resets itself. So, and then as long as it works fine, as long as I don't increase the volume too high, or set the volume too high on the radio. But yeah, you know, I like to play loud music sometimes, and it's a pain. So it's really annoying when it keeps on rebooting itself. Also, sometimes it won't turn on anymore from all of the cycling, the power cycling. And so what I need to do to fix that is I usually do a computer reboot. So I'll press and hold both scroll wheels, and I'll reboot the computer. And once I reboot the computer, then the rear view camera S92 comes back on, or comes back to life. So anyways, that's my issue. Hopefully this will fix it, and we'll see about that. This just pops out. Slides out. Sometimes these white clips fall off, so all you have to do is snap them back in place. There you go. And this is fine. All right, so that's what that looks like. And then this just pops out. I did this how many times? Shouldn't be that hard. There you go. All right. That pops out.
And then we gotta peel this carpet back. In order to do that, there is a clip right here. So all you gotta do is remove this guy. Boom. Oh, boom, just like that. That's the center part. All right, and the actual clip should come out. There you go. Boom. So that's what that looks like. This thing just fits in the center. Just like that. So now we should be able to just pull this carpet back. Just like that. To get to that wiring harness. Let me turn off this computer real quick. We're just gonna pull it out right here. Okay, you gotta push that lever in the middle and then pull straight out. Okay, there you go. Pull that out. Okay, got it. All right, pull this out. Huh, there's two. So this doesn't even exist anymore. Boom. Boom. This is the original one. It comes with this extra piece that plugs into the side here. But the new one, it doesn't. It only has this one piece that plugs in over there in the back. And then you gotta run this cable all the way up to your camera. So, or your rear view mirror, which is up here. So I gotta run this new cable. So that means I have to remove this whole wire harness. I have to remove my original wire harness, which comes up here and across the headliner and over to the mirror. So this is not a quick job. Okay, so I sent Tesstudio tech support a video of the problems I was having with my S92 rear view camera. So they sent me a new wire harness that is a little bit different from the original wire harness that I installed that came with the S92 camera back in the day. So anyway, all right, so let's talk about the differences in this new wire harness that they sent me. So the original wire harness has two T's right here that tee in at the passenger side by the feet. So you have two T's that tee in here. One is up top here, it tees in right there, and then the bottom one is down here and tees in at the bottom over here. So that's what tees in there. Then the wire, you run the wire up here, you run it this way in the headliner, and then at the end it just gives power to your rear view mirror. All right, so the new one, the new wire harness that they sent me only has one Molex connector here, and that tees in at the bottom there, and then you're supposed to run this one wire all the way over to the headliner, and somehow this is gonna power the rear view mirror. And there's another T right here, a smaller 2-pin T. It's 2 pins on this T, and I believe the connector is somewhere in here. So I need to find where that is. It's somewhere in there. But the problem is I have my wires, all my connectors are up here in the headliner, so I want to hook this up here. Then that means that this 2-pin Molex connector is not gonna reach. So that might be a problem. I don't think I want to put all this stuff in here because it's just too much stuff that's going to be in there, as well as this wire. So I might have to extend these 2 wires that are connected to this T. So it's a red and a black here. All right, so I popped this off. Let's go use my T20. So slide your T20 screwdriver down the center there in between all these the 3 wires, and unscrew your rear view mirror. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it, just like that. It looks like it's this one right here, right? Okay, just like that. Got it. Be careful of these 3 wires right here. They look like they're so fragile. All right, so now let's go ahead and plug this in because we need to test this. Make sure that it works. My goodness, this sucks. So we're gonna plug this in here. Like that. And then we're gonna plug this in here. Like that. So we could tee in. Right? All right, so now this needs to plug into my camera. I mean, into the in here, which is where I have my cable. All right. I think this is the connector for the rear camera that's on the back of my car. And then this is where we're gonna plug into, right here. So pull this out, boom. And then this is gonna plug into here. And then that's how you get the power. This is the new connector. All right, so now everything's plugged in over here. You had to tee in right here on this white connector, and then you had to plug in your Molex connector there. All right, so now there should not be any life on this yet because it's not plugged in yet. All right, so now what we're gonna do is plug the other end of this into our computer. Let's see here. What I'm gonna do is plug this back in because I think this has to do with the radio. And then we're gonna plug into here. Just like that. And then this is gonna plug into here. Like that. Boom. Once you hear the click, you're good. I'm gonna reset it because it still says that I have an audio fault. I need to open the door. Pretend I'm leaving. Oh, there you go. See? It's already shut down in 5 seconds due to ignition off. That's it. And then you walk away and then everything turns off. Okay, so it's working. The issue is, what am I gonna do with all these cables? Am I able to hide all these cables inside of here or not? Because that's a lot of stuff to hide. You're trying to hide all this? Even this guy needs to go up there. Yeah, I don't see how I can fit all of this in here. I think what I need to do is extend these two wires. Bring it up here. And so that way I could plug in all of these cables up here. All right. Let's do this side. You gotta pull it, push it here and pull down. There you go. Once that comes off, I think this whole thing comes off. Boom. Oh, that's pretty easy. All right, so now we can clean this. Oh yeah, see that? That's a lot of crap that's right there. Right, so I went ahead and cleaned it with Windex, and I think I got pretty clean. Got rid of the haze. So now I'm gonna pop this back in. So it's pretty easy. It's just these two tabs that are on the side here. So there's a one tab on the left side, and then there's one tab on the right side. And then this just slides in. Don't touch the camera lenses. It's inside of, you have to line up those two holes inside those two things. So it's just these guys right here, these two holes right here. You have to line it up and make sure it's in the right position with these two tabs right here, 1 and 2. So it goes inside there, and then you just pivot up. Pivot up, there you go. Hey, that's not too bad. If I need to do this again next time, I know how to do it. And then it's just, you just snap this in place. 1 and 2. Finally fixed the issue with my S92 Cybertruck rear view camera. Let's see here, I just want to show you what I did. I already have the wiring installed in there. It's a new wiring harness, but I wanted to kind of show you what I did here. So these were the original 2 wires that comes out of the GPS housing here. So I got 2 wires. One is for the rear view camera that goes over to my rear license plate, and then the other one is the power. New wiring harness. I installed it on the other side of this shift housing. Let's see here, transmission shift housing. So here's the cable right here. I wrapped it in a black shrink wrap tubing, and again I had to notch this corner out of this GPS housing right here. So I don't know if you could see, but there's a notch right there so that I could fit the cable, have it come up into the headliner here, because there's so much room in this headliner. That's why I had to modify the wire harness, because the T connector, the 2-pin T connector connects to your, I guess, your GPS over here. That gives the power to the mirror, and then there's a fuse holder as well, a 2-amp fuse holder that's connected to that. So I kept all that in here, and then I cut the cable over by the circuit board, so that and then I added a 20-inch cable here. 20 gauge. So these are 2 20 gauge cables, a red and a black. I extended it by 20 inches so that I could make all my connections in the headliner. So let's take it apart so you could see what I did.
All right, so this is a picture of the printed circuit board on the new wire harness that they sent me. You can see that there's glue on all the solder connections on the circuit board, so you're going to be unable to desolder from the circuit board. You're going to have to cut the wire. So here is where I actually cut the wire to extend it by 24 inches. You could see that I kept the inline fuse closest to the 2-pin T connector, which is the rule of thumb when protecting a circuit. You want to keep that fuse closest to where your power source is coming from. So you're going to have to strip the wire and add your 24-inch extension and add some heat shrink tubing to insulate it. So this is where I soldered and added the heat shrink tubing closest to the printed circuit board. So it's nice and all right. This is where I added the I soldered and added the heat shrink tubing closest to the inline fuse. And then this is what the final product looks like. You can see that now I have that extra 24 inches from where the 2-pin T connector is and the protected inline fuse is, and the rest of the wire harness. And I added the heat shrink tubing there in between to cover it and make it nice and black so that it doesn't stick out when you're looking up at my windshield.
First thing you got to do is take this camera off. We got a T20 Torx screwdriver, and I suggest you purchase one of these guys right here, because this is what makes it a lot easier to remove this rear view camera and install it. You don't want to use that L-shaped Allen wrench, because it's just so difficult to keep it straight, to keep the bolt straight, and you end up like cross-threading it and the bolt gets misaligned and you won't be able to screw it back in easily. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Now you take these, take them off and put them take them out of the way. And then you're gonna need a trim removal tool. So so this is already off. What you want to do is pull this off first. So I always just put this, jam this in the corner here, and pop this out. There's a clip in the middle here, and then there's another clip in the over here towards the back. Boom. All right, so now once you unclip both of those clips, then you can just slide this down and out. So that's one clip is right here, and the other clip is here in the center. So that's where it's at, about right here. And then the second one is about right here. So and then you could just kind of like let that hang. And then now since you remove this rear view mirror bolt, now it should be easy to pop this out. So this is also the procedure if you want to clean your camera window, your front camera window area, because of the off-gassing of all the interior of the Cybertruck. So when I installed this new wire harness, I did end up cleaning that. So this is the best time to do it, since you're gonna have everything open. But let me just show you what I did here. So once you got this popped out, you want to take this and just pull on this. You should be able to just pop this whole housing out. So just to kind of show you where my wires are run. So right here I cut this little, I notched this little corner out of the GPS housing here, and I got that from a video I watched, because no matter what I did, I tried to run the wires through the center here, it just wouldn't. I couldn't get this shift housing to snap on properly. So I decided to just go ahead and run it from the outside. So I didn't have much room over here anymore to run my third wire from the power for this rear view mirror. So then I went ahead and did it from the other side here. So there's the cable right there. And again, that's two wires. They're a red and a black 20 gauge. And all I did was shrink wrap, put shrink wrap tubing to make it black, so it doesn't stick out and look ugly. So you can see how it's already popped out right here. It's pretty easy. All right, that's it. Once you pop that out, everything can just kind of hang, but it's kind of holding on from because of this cable right here. All right, but let's go see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, just to let you know, if you did want to work on your window here to clean it, I just used some Windex window cleaner and a couple of cloths to clean the area here. But all you have to do is what I did was pop this out, this blue connector there, which is part of your GPS, and you're not going to have a problem with your GPS. All right. All right, so that's what it looks like if you do it correctly. I don't know if you can see, but this is where I soldered my wires together, and then I put a shrink wrap tubing here to cover the metal. And then there's the 2 amp inline fuse housing right here that I taped against the side of this GPS housing. Again, this is all pushed over onto the right, onto the left side of the of this housing, GPS housing. Closest, this side is the driver's side. So just wanted to share what that looks like with you. And then of course you run the wires to this corner right here, and then it pops out. Once you notch this corner right here, then you can have it pop out at this corner, and then have it go towards the headliner. So that's what you want to do. I'll show you what it looks like in the headliner in a few minutes here. So I'm gonna put this all back together again. Before, all of these connections would have had to fit inside here, all right, inside of my my GPS housing, and I didn't want to do that because I know that there's people who have had issues with their GPS because all of the cables, they try to fit inside here, and it got in the way of their GPS signal, and then their GPS signal, their GPS just wouldn't work properly. So this one, if you want to know what this is for, it's actually the cable for the front camera, but I don't use it. So I don't think you need it. All I wanted was the rear camera, so I didn't want to have to deal with a front camera here. But you know, that's what this is for. So I just kind of run this across the front here, and it's nice because it's out of the way anyways, and it just kind of chills right here at the front of the housing. But that's what it's going to look like once you snap it in place. While it's like that. I don't know if you can see it. All right, so I'm gonna snap everything back in place here. All right. Remember, tape it against this vertical wall here on the driver's side, and make sure you snap all your connectors in place. All right, let's do that now. So I'm gonna push everything back together. All right, just like that. All right, you're gonna feel what it feels. You're gonna feel that it's pretty good once you snap it in place. Now you should be able to put this back in place. Just like that. Push these wires out of the way. Alright, just like that. Alright. Alright. Boom. It just goes like that. Okay. Yep, everything feels like it's sitting in properly. And then you just take your your T20 screwdriver, and then screw that back into place. So you just kind of push it back, and then this goes inside the center here. Like that. Alright, that feels nice and snug. So now this will hold everything together, keep everything from popping out. Just like that. That's it. And then that cable runs into the headliner, and if you want to see where the circuit board is, I shoved it up right here. So here it is right here. Boom. So that's what it looks like. So this is the two 20 gauge cables that I added the extension for. They're about 18, actually I made mine 24 inches. So this is 24 inches to the circuit board right here. So if I uncover this, this is where the circuit board is. So you could see what it looks like right here. There's a printed circuit board right here that I had to remove the black insulation from, and then I cut it right here, right? Both a black and a red wire, and then I soldered it together, and then I put shrink wrap tubing to insulate it. And so this, if you follow it, it's a black and red cable that goes over here to the other side of here, and then it's this wire right here, and it goes over to that 2-pin T connector inside of the GPS housing. So I don't know, for me, this is what I did. It worked perfectly. I had to add another 24 inches of 20 gauge cable. So that's what it looks like. And then I plug this in here, so it's all in the house and in the headliner, because there's just a lot of space. And then if you follow this cable, all it does is goes over to this headliner, and then down here, and then I shoved it in right here, shoved it in here, it comes down here, and then it goes down here, and then it connects down at the passenger side by the by the passenger feet. And again, that is just one connector. It looks like this, that plugs in right at the bottom there. They got rid of the other connector over here that plugs into the audio system. They got rid of that. So we're not pulling power from the audio system anymore. And now, as you can see, I don't have my audio system error fault on my screen anymore. It's completely gone. So I'm super happy about that. And that's about it. All right, so again, if I didn't add the 24-inch piece of cable here, if I didn't extend it all the way to the headliner, all of these wires right here, this wire, and then this printed circuit board, plus all this wire, all this stuff would have had to fit inside here, and I didn't want to have to deal with that and have to I might have an issue with my GPS. So that's why I had to do this and move most of the wiring and this circuit board and all this stuff, all these big wires right here, this big connector, Molex connector. I wanted it all in the headliner. So that's what it looks like. Now this one, it looks like it doesn't turn on until you actually put the car in drive. So right now I unlock the car, enter the car, and the rear view mirror is still off. If you try to turn it on, you can press this button underneath. All right. It will give you a shutdown in 5 seconds due to ignition off. So there you go, it just shuts off. So this rear view mirror will only turn on once you put it into gear. So right now I put my foot on the brake pedal, and then, well, I have a pin, so all right. So once you put in your pin, and then once you put it in drive, that's when it turns on. Boom, and there's your video feed, live video feed, and it's very, very clear. I've been really happy with this S92 rear view camera. It's just that I had that error on my screen, which I don't have anymore. So take a look at that. No more audio errors on my screen. It doesn't turn on. It doesn't turn off every time I play my radio too loud. So I can play my audio system as loud as I want, and this thing stays on. Why? Because now the power is taken from this GPS housing area here, instead of down there by the passenger side footwell area. So we're not taking the power from the audio system anymore. So I mean, that's my assumption. That's where most of the earlier versions of this video screen took the power from. And I just wanted to take this time to thank Tesstudio customer service. They really helped me out here. I've been working with Fiona, and I'm sure all of their new S90 cameras come with a new wire harness that doesn't give a problem to the customer. I'm super happy now with how this thing works. I've been using this thing for about a week now, and zero issues so far. Zero. So they fixed it. They found out how to fix it, and all you got to do is call customers or send an email to Tesstudio customer service and let them know what's going on with your S92 rear view camera, and they're gonna ask you to make a video of what the issue is. And that's what I did. I created a YouTube video of my issue, and I showed it to them that my screen would turn off every time I played my music too loud. And then I also showed them that I had that audio system fault on my screen all the time ever since I installed the this camera, rear view camera and housing. So now it's all gone. Super happy. All right, so I highly suggest that you do this fix and repair your rear view camera. I'm sure the new versions of the S92 camera is going to come with the new wire harness. So I'm sure there's not going to be any more issues with the with this rear view camera system.